All right, here we go. So, Border Barrel's back for another one. So we've got another brewery showcase for you today, and it is Gratzy's turn, and we're pretty excited because we the only person that knows at this desk who it's going to be is Gratzy. So what have you got, Gratz?
As a hint.
Yeah, you got any hints?
Yeah, I got one hint. Fat 11.
All right. Anything on that, Hud?
Yeah, I reckon I'm an 11 out of 10 and I'm slightly fat. So is it me?
Well, we'll find out right after this break.
Fat 11.
Border Barrel's back for another brewery showcase, and as alluded to in the intro, it's Gratzy's turn, and he's given us a bit of a hint. Fat 11. Now, is it in fact what Hudson guessed in the intro, or
That it's just him.
yeah?
Or is it like a soccer team that was populated entirely by barflies at the local pub?
No. So, no, it is... the origins of the hint come back to great nicknames. So, have you guys heard of, like, if you've got your ultimate resi footy player who wears number 11, and he's a bit of a bigger, rotund sort of fella?
Why does he wear number 11?
So it has to wear number 11 because if you wear number 11 but your footy jumper's a bit tight, the 11s, the numbers don't look so straight anymore. So those people get the nickname Brackets.
Right. there you
Because
go.
they don't look like 11s, they now look like
Okay,
brackets.
yeah, fair enough.
So have I given you enough of a hint
Yeah.
now
Yes,
to what it
you
could
have.
possibly be?
Bracket Brewing. Yeah, excellent. That's good stuff. Have they featured at all in any collabs or anything? Have we had any of that? Or
Well, it's funny, for doing some research, I don't know how we've not missed them. I'm sure we've probably all had a beer or two at some point.
yeah.
But seeing some of the stuff they've been doing and
Yeah.
some of the reviews they've been getting,
No.
Yeah.
it's incredible that we aren't more on top of what they have actually.
Well,
Red Z lending stats.
yeah.
We have not had Bracket Brewing.
Excellent. Well, I have personally had at least one Bracket Brewing beer because in doing the research for Future Brewing, the guy from Future Brewing was like, "Yeah, Bracket is fucking awesome. That's my jam." So I had one of those in preparation, then forgot to mention anything about it. So, and also, mind you, it was delicious. So pretty excited.
Well, we've got some little untapped stats a little bit later, which are pretty incredible. And I think considering we consider ourselves pretty up to speed with things to do with beer, I don't know how we've sort of been sleeping on them for this long.
Yeah, and they're also from the Mecca by the looks.
Or nearby.
Nearby.
So-
Mecca adjacent.
Mike and Mark,
Can we have a beer?
we're in 1 second we can. We are a deliberately small, family-run, independent nano brewery in the heart of Alexandria, Sydney. But I've got an asterisk next to that.
Sydney!
No big investors, no big sales contracts. We produce an ever-changing array of well-crafted beers we love to drink and that we are proud to share with you. So as I pull the first beer out, I'll explain why there was a little asterisk.
Cool. And then just waiting for a little fact. I recorded my first EP in Alexandria.
Oh, that's cool.
Little studio there. It was good fun.
What year was that?
Oh, bloody ages ago. Many moons. So, yeah, sorry, I don't have that information. 2010, I don't know.
So the first beer we've got today is the Long Game Maibock.
Yeah, right.
Hudson's keen for a beer.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we record a beer podcast and we haven't had any beer yet.
Yeah, no, fair enough.
And my little tidbit was as soon as you said no to me having a beer, I checked out
There you go.
in
No.
defiance.
But while you pour that, and we'll talk about the beer itself in a second, due to a building rent increase of a whopping 67%, Bracket officially closed their brew pub, I believe, on the 7th of April, I think. Is the
Right.
Did you
information.
say rent went up 67%? Is that illegal?
Oh,
that's
look,
crazy.
I don't know.
How
There's-
much written notice do you need for 67% increase? I
don't-
thought 10% year on year was the max.
No, it's definitely not capped because that has its own problems. But 67% is not.
Does
very
it
good.
align itself with
interest rate.
when everything inflation?
Yeah, well, I don't know. Like, I'm not an expert, but because commercial real estate is something different as well. But like, you know, where that place probably is worth a fair bit, and you know, they probably Whoever. Anyway, this isn't a real estate podcast, so that sucks. That sucks.
We do the worst real estate.
Yeah, we would.
You know a fair bit, and I'd be like, that house looks all right.
That looks all right. Yeah. Anyway, sorry, Gratz. Sorry for ruining your flow, but yeah, that sucks.
Yes, so they were trying their best to stay where they were, figure out what they could do.
Yeah.
However, they will still be continuing to brew their beers via Gypsy Brewing. So by the looks of social media as well, Bracket had a crazy local following. So it's obviously disappointing news to the people of Alexandria, all the fans.
Especially when the beer's this good, but you can get a go at that. That's delicious.
Oh,
it's outstanding.
Well, we know more about this style now. We've had it a few times.
Yeah,
yeah. That's
this is the best one I've had. It's really nice. It's very good.
Oh, that is so good.
Yeah.
Yeah, please do your best to support the boys by buying their beers.
Well,
especially if you spot them at your local pub, brew pub, or retailer. I believe almost like Big Shed. Not sure if we discussed their plight as well, but other breweries in Adelaide were putting all of once they went into voluntary administration, a lot of other breweries in town were putting all the Big Shed stuff on in there.
So that's
So
awesome.
I believe other people will do that as well.
Oh, friends.
Yeah,
Brewery friends.
Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah. We'll get into some more details soon about the actual operation and Mike and Mark. But for this beer, so there is no blurb on the can. At least I do have one from the website. So Bracket...
This is our first Maibock, just quickly.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I've definitely had one in my life.
Yeah.
I swear
and
that...
this is the best one by far.
Did we not have one in that...
very nice. Very nice.
Oktoberfest pack that Burnley did?
Nah.
Really?
Sorry to cut off your flow. I just thought that was worth mentioning. Burnley Oktoberfest, Leipziger Ghost, Crystal Weizen, Marzen, Dunkel, Rauschweizen, Schwarzbier, Dortmunder, Export Lager, and Bohemian Pilsner.
Cool.
Yeah, I've almost necked this. This is fantastic.
Well, Bracket opened its doors with a Maibock Helles Bock, remember? Then we released another one the month our head brewer Mike's son was born. And here's Long Game. No particular reasons needed, besides the fact that we really like Maibocks. Long Game has been brewed with all the continental European malts, as they have a character you just can't replicate with domestic grown barley. That's something interesting. I didn't know.
Well, bloody hell.
She's a malt-driven sip, but not a meal. Still crisp and leaving you wanting more.
Yeah, that's absolutely fantastic. That's really good.
From an as advertised, that's almost as good as it gets.
Yeah, no, it's good. That's very good. Here we go. Oh, and the textures have been super.
Yeah, we've got an upgrade.
Yeah,
Which is
which is
No, they're the same chicks.
well, I mean, I don't know.
What?
Maybe they wanted a rest. That's either one. Oh, jeez. Yeah. Hang on. No, bugger it. I'm going to go against what I normally do and stop being conservative.
Whoa.
Who cares? Yeah, really.
Today's
really
a day that, like, no, I'm not saying Bracket beers are bad, but, like, you'll bring in 3 beers and, like, we'll give them low scores and Simo will just be like,
This
nah,
is a
Simo's Oprah. You get a 5. You get a 5.
This is fantastic.
That's tough because I really, really like the blurb, but it wasn't on the can. So I know we're going sort of the conservative middle road score.
Oh, yours is a 3.5, is it?
Yeah. Oh, well, didn't we agree universally?
I don't know.
I'm happy to agree universally that it's 3 if there's no blurb on the can.
3. Like the dunk contest where if you don't do a dunk, you still get a 6. I was like, what? So
Really?
what, you get a 6 for jumping.
I didn't know that. There you go.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Sorry, I tried
Oh,
to
no.
change. I'm trying to change what's on the TV and it's bloody blaring out my laptop.
We'll let everyone know that what was on the TV was a photo of his wife.
Yes.
Yeah,
Let's get that off.
See enough of that.
I've seen enough.
I'm giving this 4.5 on Untapped. I think it's one of the
I
best
have too.
I've had.
Yeah. And this is one of the better beers I've had. It's just fantastic.
You actually messaged me before the pod, Simon, and said, was it Prime Weather?
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's
Is
just
that the new
still...
flavour?
Yeah, no, it's just still... Oh, Prime, yeah. It's just still, like, warm enough outside.
Storm
where
in a bottle.
a nice crisp beer like this is perfect.
Yeah,
But the
yeah.
European malts as well, if you have a beer like this in Europe, I mean, when you think of Europe, you do sort of think of the cooler sort of weather as well. And that's what we've got. We've got warm, but it's still been cool. So this beer is absolutely perfect for the climate.
Yeah, this is a banger. Absolute ripper. It's so good.
Banger from Bracket. The beer was $11.50. So it's a 440ml can. 2.3 standard drinks.
What's the percentage?
6.6. So
For $11.50.
yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, actually, maybe I'll comment on this one.
Carmen.
Yeah. Cool. Well, that
Carmen.
that was very good. I could have 10 of those. Absolutely.
I'd like to see you have 10 of those at that.
Oh, right. I'm not saying I could. I'd like to.
So-
I'd strive towards it.
Sorry, I was looking up to see if we'd had Maibock before. When you were reading out the blurb, did you mention flavours?
Oh, hang on.
Because I feel like I want to guess, but I feel silly. Like, is it bready and banana-y, like most German
I wouldn't
beers?
say-
Yeah, but I'm not getting as much. I'm getting a bit of marmalade action. I'm not getting as much banana-y.
Not sweet, like not when you think fruit sweet banana, more so
Yeah.
the opposite end of that, so the breadiness. But so brewed with all the continental European malts, as they have a character you just can't replicate. Malt driven sip, but not a meal. So there you go. So yeah, it's saying it's malt driven, but as you said, Simo, you could probably feel like you'd have 10.
Bready flavour.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Rich bready flavors make sense as well because there's a real depth to this beer that isn't anything I can sort of quantify like I can when we have an IPA.
And
suppose.
I believe the banana tasted. We learned last time that it's actually the type of yeast used that actually makes that taste.
think
Is
so.
that what we're? Or Hutto's just having a look at the
I'm
moment.
just looking at, like, not generic Maibox, just a lot of people, like, tasting notes, like hints of mature bananas. Banana notes produce a well-rounded flavour and aroma.
Yeah.
It smells
Maybe.
of bready malt, banana, clove, floral hops.
I like that this one didn't.
Excuse me.
But
I like
taste
this
banana.
was just the pure. Yeah, I like that this one
But
was.
see, I don't know. I get it there, but I'm probably, like, I am an idiot, so.
A beer idiot.
Eh.
Yeah.
No, but if you're finding it in this beer, I think you're looking for it. It's not an overriding.
But
No, I'm
fantastic.
not saying it's like a banana paddle pop, but like it's there.
How has no one done a beer?
All-
Banana paddle pop.
Someone
Yeah.
told me something that like banana paddle pops are obviously like an artificial banana taste, but apparently there was a banana that tasted like that is now extinct.
Jesus.
It was like that was a variety.
There would have
of
been
banana.
wars over it.
Yeah, well,
I would have gone to war. I'd go
Imagine
to
how
war
much
for that.
fruit I would have eaten if bananas taste like
Yeah,
banana
bloody
paddle pops.
hell.
Is it true that the rainbow paddle pop is just the
Banana.
Banana
That's what
paddle
I've been
Well,
told.
that's a
yeah?
Heard it here first.
That's a conspiracy theory I want to look into. Not any other ones. I
Yeah.
don't care about like who assassinated who in the US
Something.
government.
it's
but,
definitely on
like,
the list.
It's on a list.
It's on a list. I've got a list. Once I meet my demise, I've got a list. When you go wherever you go, hopefully there's some sort of spirit I can ask all these questions. Like, hey, whatever's going to happen is going to happen, but I need to know these things.
Now, you guys seem thirsty, so may as well pull another one out.
I'm so thirsty.
Now, we started with
Pull
a
it out.
Maibock, a German-style beer that is quite refreshing and quite crisp. And just to stick to, we'll say the flavour of the month and something we've been talking about recently, one of the most recent Bracket Brewing releases is the Barefoot West Coast Pilsner.
Oh, delicious. Yeah,
Brewed
that's
with
awesome.
Rawaka, Idaho 7, and Manalita, which I am not too familiar with.
Not too familiar with it or never heard of it.
However,
Tell us about it.
one thing that we have learned, and I feel like since we were sort of pretty early on mentioning that the style will probably take off and be quite popular, I do also like that we have recognised pretty quickly. Oh yeah, we know enough. We know that New Zealand hops really complement the West Coast Pilsner
Yep.
and are the best ones to add. So yeah,
Yep.
Rawaka, Manalita may also be.
Yeah.
good, I'm not sure, but yeah, this is 1.8 standard drinks, 5.3%.
Isn't it funny that what's going on there? That's odd. Sorry, I was spreadsheeting. Isn't it weird that New Zealand hops lend themselves to West Coast flavours, yet it is, like, if flat earthers are correct, is the most east of all
And
major countries.
climate-wise, you wouldn't consider.
No.
Oh wait,
No.
no, hang on. West Coast. Wait, in America is which one's the sunny one?
West Coast.
Yeah, West Coast. Yeah.
I don't know. I went to New Zealand for 2 weeks and it was pretty sunny.
Yeah,
well, I
but,
went in January once and had a jumper on a lot of the time.
but not much.
Oh, but doesn't mean it's not sunny.
not much
Nah.
snow in California anyway. Yeah. Anyway, typically warm versus cold, ish, can be.
Why can't this work?
Righto. Crack it.
We're just staring at each other. Peripheral visioning Hudson, waiting
Yeah.
for him to pour the beer. That's right, he's filling our stuff. Look, I'll tell you about the beer
Why?
first anyway. So hops, Rawaka, Idaho 7, Manolita, we might look that up soon, actually, learn a bit about that hop. But style, West Coast Pilsner's West Coast Pilsner. Barefoot brings the goods with a super refreshing and hop-forward West Coast Bills.
Bear's foot.
Just edit that out. The ideal beer for the last few weeks of summer. So we've had an extended summer here, I think.
Yeah,
at least in Albury Wodonga. So yeah, this is perfect. This crispy boy punches well above its weight in terms of hop character, but also delivers as a solid thirst quencher. I also liked that they spelt boy B-O-I.
Yeah, I was going to say I've got a bit of insight into them being really cool because they said crispy boy. I like that. I like that. That's awesome.
We thought we were cool years ago by calling like fries when you get the really crispy ones, calling them crispy boys.
Yeah.
You guys never
prefer
call
it
me
for
cool. My Supercoach team's been the footy boys with an eye for about 6 years.
Yeah.
And no one cared.
Interesting. It's quite pale for a West Coast.
It's
It
very
is a
pale.
Pilsner.
It does look like a Pilsner.
It does.
Do you want more?
Do I want more?
I'll have some.
Bloody snatch it out.
Does he want more?
I'll
Couldn't
tell
have
you
taken
what.
the glass
Oh,
quicker.
smell test.
Well-
Amazing.
Interesting.
Is it?
The Manolita.
Bit sweaty.
The Manolita is quite profound. That's all I know because
Oh,
I've
I
had something
don't
that
know
I've
if
not
that's-
tasted before.
Yeah, I don't know if that
Interesting.
smell test does it for me, Grazie. I'm not
Really?
saying it's... for me, it's a bit...
There's something very,
Taking my
very...
pants off at the end of the day, getting in the shower, musk.
No, there's something super, super light from the hop. So it must... You're right. Is that the Manolita, or do we not know enough about Idaho 7?
Well, no, we've had Idaho 7 single hop beers, and it didn't smell like this.
Yeah, well, what's the Manolita
Mountain
part?
Culture
Yeah.
one. And then I feel like I've had enough of Rawaka recently to know that that's not Rawaka.
No, I almost would have guessed Nelson. If I had to guess
Nah,
the
like,
hops.
Is yours smelling different to mine?
It just smells light and refreshing, really. I really like the smell, yeah.
Anyway, let's look this.
Kind
let's-
of a
Manolita,
bit
yeah, I'm
sour.
intrigued.
yeah, it is a little bit sour. That's what I'm getting. What
Like
do we
the smell. Yeah, Manolita T90 hop pellets.
got? Let's have a look.
Go to that
Let's
second one.
the second one. This one.
That looks good, yeah. Is a new hop
Yeah.
from our friends. Citrus zest quality. Oh, yeah.
New hop from our friends at Freestyle Farms in New Zealand.
That's what I'm getting.
What's that?
The hop has a vibrant citrus zesty quality, namely grapefruit, with some dark
Ganja.
ganja
Like elements.
like elements. As Manolita is also new hop to the Mecca, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, okay, there you go.
Ganja
Interesting.
being...
Marijuana?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, there you go.
I find...
That's where I'm getting that little bit of bull sweat.
Yeah, there you go.
Isn't it interesting you always go... Like, that all started with cashmere, which is interesting because, like, I think we
No, no,
shamed
no, no, no.
cashmere into not existing because I don't have a lot of beers with it anymore.
No, because everyone was like, oh, wait, it does smell... No, cashmere is a footy kit bag.
Yeah, okay.
It's a combination of sweat and dirt and...
I thought
age.
something smelled familiar when I opened up my bag this morning.
Yeah, you're like, oh my God, I'm having another single hop cashmere.
Better chuck it in the washing machine.
The old... What'd we have? Who was that by again? Revel.
Yes.
Revel Brewing
Shipper.
cashmere single hop
Single
IPA.
hop IPA.
I always thought Shipper, for some reason, I thought the S was sour.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, so what is it? Sorry, I tuned
Single
out.
hop.
Oh, okay.
Like SHIPA.
I'm saying for shit hot IPA.
Yeah. Oh, good. Anyway.
Because I reckon if you saw SIPA, what would you think it was?
Yeah, I would think sour.
SIPA.
Just SIPA.
Yeah, either sour IPA or an IPA that is like a session IPA.
That's
like
what
a
I was
sipper.
going to say. I was like,
Yeah.
session
Oh,
IPA.
that's not bad either.
Oh, is that a thing? Surely a session IPA called Sipper.
Surely.
Redact
Yeah,
that.
trademark.
I like this canner. I do like this canner.
I do too. I rated that quite
Yeah,
highly.
out in the forest.
Yes, very good.
Couple of trees.
Very good.
Very,
So
very Oregon.
Yes, it is.
Oregon.
Yeah.
Bit of Washington.
$11 for this one.
It is a lower percentages, isn't it?
It is. So it's 50 cents cheaper than the first beer.
Yeah, but percentage.
Oh, of course, yes.
5.3. Yeah.
Also, sorry, I should point out there is something written on the can. Bracket Brewing acknowledges the Gadigal people of the Aroa Nation as the traditional custodians of the ancestral homelands upon which our brewery is situated. We respect their elders past and present and recognise their continuous connection to country. That is on every beer. I actually thought that was a blurb when I first got the beer and realised it wasn't, but that's okay.
Oh, right down the bottom there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I always get nervous, like, when they have, they write that on the cans, because I'm going to butcher the indigenous area that it is. I'm like, oh, is this bad?
Yeah.
I started regretting my decision immediately when I started reading
as soon as he said it, I was like, yeah.
Only for the fact.
I'm being respectful by acknowledging. I do apologise for also butchering.
Yeah, it's only for the fact that you don't want to get it wrong and potentially offend anyone. So that's all right. Yeah, good stuff. Oh,
I think I like this a bit more than you guys.
Yeah,
Simo didn't like it at all.
No, not your favourite?
Not my favourite. I think, as far as like a West Coast, this is probably not what I was expecting, and I think the Manolita is. I'd never had it before. So
interesting introduction to it.
Yeah.
Sure.
But I reckon next time I have one with something in, I'll be like, well, that's what it is.
I'm getting a heap of bitterness at the end.
For a
West Coast,
bit of dry mouth.
Yeah, so there you go, dank flavours. But for a West Coast IPA, a standard West Coast IPA, that's the bitterness that I want, and I've got a lot of lingering bitterness. So from that perspective, I've given it a 4 as advertised. It is crisp, it is enjoyable in the nice sunny weather we've got. But I actually didn't mind the hop. I almost thought it had it to start with, a little bit of that light Nelson Sauvin sort of like wininess that sort of
Whining,
and I know about wininess.
Wininess isn't a bad shout. It's not. It's like a sort of soury, white winey kind of situation in there. That's how I would probably describe it. That's a good call.
Yeah,
certainly no Zach knows about wininess.
That's
Hawthorne played last night.
Whoa,
so we've heard it all.
No, they were excuses I had last night. I wasn't whining. But anyway,
Up the Dons.
I'm glad I'm glad I can turn my phone to silent. That's all I can say. All the messages between you.
I get to wear this hat once a year when we get that one good win.
I will say I've probably had more enjoyable West Coast Pilsners as of late. I've been having a lot, to be fair. But no, I'm actually pretty intrigued by that hop. As an introduction.
I've never had it.
Is it? So when we first started the pod, not so much when we first started, but all of our interview pods, we've asked breweries what they think the next trend will be, and they've all gone like a lager. This is, I guess, technically it's not a lager, but it also is. So I guess they were right, because West Coast Pilsners are everywhere. Like, they're in. Yeah. They're the it thing at the moment.
Yeah, definitely. Absolutely.
Yeah. No, there's an extended blurb somewhere. There's an extended blurb of, somewhere about this beer as well that mentions the trend.
He won't drink
We've finally done it. We've actually captured a fly.
Yeah.
Was that? He was looking for the gunja.
He was very, very interested in the review of the West Coast Pilsner. I wanted to try it for himself. So
he was like, I haven't had Manolita either.
And listen, just in case you guys are interested in the amount that he'll drink, it won't be much. Won't be much.
I won't get that last little amount. No, I'm actually.
To be fair, it is hard to drink upside down. The poor bloke's bloody backstroking.
Still in a keg stand.
Backstroking through the beer.
Butt chugging it.
Watch us get flagged for like animal cruelty for this. Surely not.
Righto.
Anyway,
maybe just tip him out and let him live elsewhere. There you go, big. Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
He flew away.
Oh, yeah.
He wasn't weighed down.
Oh.
He righted his. He'll be back. He will drink more.
They'll be back. And in greater numbers.
Yeah, she'll drink more.
He'll tell his friends about the beer that's up for grabs.
Hopefully he doesn't get pulled over on the way home, because he would be over.
Just a little note about Mike and Mark. Father and son duo.
That's cool. That's even cooler.
Which is very cool. So Mike has an extensive career in the industry.
No, nothing.
No, I think that's cool.
Having slung beers for Beer Cartel before moving to Scotland to complete a master's in brewing and distilling. Upon returning to Australia,
how do people have money? Like, I feel like I love brewing and I love distilling and I love what it produces, but I feel like that's a bit like the doing a degree in the arts. It's like, but is it a thing? Well, that's a lot of money to spend on. Is it a thing?
But also the thing I admire as well. So money definitely one, but just being like, right, that's what I want to do.
Yeah,
it's going to pay off. Like, sort of thing, and it usually has. There's been a couple of instances where the dude from Future went over to the States and did his Master Brewers course, came back, started brewing these guys as well. I just good on him. I really the ambition. I really really admire.
I don't want to speak on behalf of you guys, but I feel like we're all in the same boat where, like, I'd love to know the feeling of like that is what I want to do.
Yeah.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
Like
I couldn't agree more.
I haven't had that like
Yep,
that.
couldn't agree more.
Like I've done lots of stuff, and it's like but it's
Yeah. No, I agree.
like, good on him.
But it did work because he returned to Australia and brewed for Batch Brewing, and also distilled at Archie Rose.
Okay.
So I don't know if you guys are familiar with Archie Rose. They do some pretty cool stuff. I have a bottle of whiskey at home from them.
Yeah, where are they from?
Sydney area. Sydney somewhere.
Hang on, did I miss the asterisk on Sydney?
Alexandra Brew Pub. And then they had to, unfortunately, move on.
Yeah.
Did they? You said Gypsy Brewing. Did you say who they've been using? Or?
No, not yet, because they've only really just started that process. They were brewing as much as they could to be able to get the releases out, because they are also pretty frequent release. So they basically do like monthly releases. I think it's 2 beers a month.
Okay, yeah.
So
cool.
Archie Rose look to be like they're in Rosebery, which is just another
nearby.
couple of suburbs across from Alexandria, away from
Insane.
Marrickville.
Yeah, what an area.
It's pretty good. Like you land at the Sydney airport and you just go straight across to Marrickville and Alexandria and Beaconsfield and Rosebery and just get absolutely sloshed.
Yeah.
And Mark, we haven't forgotten about you. So pre-COVID, Mark was a pilot, but the shutdown gave him the time necessary to focus on opening Bracket after becoming a whiz at home brewing in the years prior.
Yeah, well,
so they've gone right.
well,
Simpson and Son, let's get into it.
Yeah, that's it. How good. But did you say he's a pilot?
Yeah.
Well, obviously, he's pretty clever.
Yeah.
He's pretty clever to start off with. So, yeah, good on him.
Yeah. Now, very excited about this final beer. Social Experiment IPA, which probably won't be getting our big can art, but they've done it
I don't know.
but they've done it. They've done it
like-
on purpose.
I like it.
Now, the reason I'm excited about this beer, and I'll give you a bit of the blurb in a minute. However, I may as well set the standard high now. So we apologise, Mike and Mark, if it doesn't live up to the expectations and we don't give it 5s across the board. But
Whoa.
they found out recently, officially Australia's favourite IPA of 2023 via Untapped, with a rating of 4.153.
There you go. That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Can't wait to bloody
So
crack
on their
into it.
Instagram, they've got a whole bunch of stats from their Untapped winnings,
Yep,
mate. But
yeah.
also, this when I mention all the locals in Alexandria and how it's a really popular place, I think a lot of their reviews are coming from just the regulars.
Yep.
It seems like it's a really
Yeah.
cool
Yeah,
community
that's
they've
good.
got. And there's one, well, Hudson paused it. I've got one last cool little tidbit about the way that they approach their business.
I have a theory about the scoring. Now, it's probably not correct, but would it be that it is skewed to a more positive review if they don't have a location? Because the thing is, like, if you're exclusively online or out of or in bottle shops, there's probably a higher chance of people seeking out your beers or are craft beer enthusiasts. Whereas, like, with a brew pub, if someone happens to be in Alexandria because they've gone to the local Bunnings and they're like, oh, I wouldn't mind stopping for a beer and a feed, like, and they're like, oh, they're not usually fans of craft beer, but they have a beer and they rate it lower, or like they're on Untapped for whatever reason. Like, I'm not saying that it's not good, but is that like that's a theory?
Theoretically,
Could be.
you're not
Could be
wrong.
a thing.
However, this was of 2023, and they only just closed the brew pub
Okay.
a week ago.
Hey,
So for these guys, I would say and also the
soon.
highest reviewed beer I think only has about 280 reviews anyway. So
Yeah, okay.
it's that close knit community.
It was like it's not a reflection of the beer at all. I haven't had it yet, but like I just thought maybe it's a thing.
And I have a theory as well after I taste the beer.
But the little tidbit: no core range beers.
Yeah, okay, cool.
So they only brew beers they want to drink themselves. Part of the no core range approach stems from not mushrooms, but due to the disappointment often felt by travelling across the city to your favourite brewery, only to find their entire tap range could be purchased around the corner from your home at a beer retailer.
yeah, no, that's true. Yeah.
Now, do you wonder also why I pointed at you when I said mushrooms?
Yes.
Do you want to know why they're called Bracket?
Yeah, I do. I'd love to know.
As the father-son duo were setting up their brewery, they spent some time growing the mushroom variety
Okay.
Turkey Tail in spent grain For a mental image of what this type of fungi looks like, imagine what grows from a long, dead bit of wood in a forest. And when they discovered it was a type of bracket fungus, the name stuck.
Okay, there you go. Right.
That's one of the more obscure,
Yeah.
like, naming. Yeah.
Oh, smell test. Get that up here.
Did we mention the hops?
Peacherine.
Yeah, Motueka, Peacherine, and Nelson Savant.
Now,
I don't think I've
Peacherine
had-
we've had recently.
Have we?
Yeah, I reckon.
I'm just thinking of Scrubs.
I was
Do
about-
you
I was
know the
about-
quote?
No, I don't know the quote.
Well, it's not Peacherine, but JD always wanting an appletini. Like, sorry, sir, we
Easy
don't
in
have
the
those.
teeny.
Okay, that's a little foofy for me. I'll just have I'll have a nectarini.
I wish I could go to, like, Freestyle Hops website and they're just like, here's the beers that we've had recently that
yeah, and it just
this
tells
is
you.
in.
Oh, goodness, that is delicious.
Because we definitely, I reckon we've had Peacherine on here because we mentioned it in the past.
It's not ringing a bell for me, but
Did we do a beer with that mentioned Freestyle Hops? Have we had Kiwi beers recently?
I don't know. It doesn't ring a bell for me.
we do seem to have a lot of beers with kiwi hops in them. I'll just point out while you're searching for
One
that.
Drop have done a heap with them by the looks.
Can art and for as advertised is actually quite tough for this beer because actually no.
I like the can.
I've got to give you some more info before I can actually mention the as advertised part.
Garage Project?
Well, you obviously, not obviously, but you have more beers than us.
Not recently. I've
Well, you
pretty much
purchased more beers.
exclusively Mountain Culture recently.
Yeah.
Which is a bit slack on my part.
Yeah.
So just about this beer, we regularly start making a beer with no clear idea of where it will end up. This often means taking cues from the beers during ferment and making decisions on the fly to mold it into the final product. Social Experiment is no exception, and no, TBD is not a new beer style. It just shows that sometimes we get too engrossed in making the beer what it wants to be, then when it's done we don't even know what to call it. Dry hopped with mid-harvest Motueka, Peacherine and Nelson's Swarven. This beer sings citrus and stone fruit with a little dankness from the Nelson. I guess we could have just called it a NEPA or a double dry hopped IPA or even just a hazy. But at the time the labels needed to be ready, we weren't sure what it was going to end up being.
Yeah, cool. I like that because there's many good cooks that we know that cook like that. You know, like
Is that you?
no, but like does
Not
your
me.
well, your dad's a good cook, Gratzy. I reckon you know
yeah.
he's a like it needs a bit of this, bit of that, rather than the this is what the recipe says kind of thing.
Yeah.
He
that's
follows
what
some
I think.
YouTube recipes at times and then just sort of experiments after.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I
see,
reckon.
it says 123.7 grams. So
Yeah,
I'm
and
getting
that's
the
what you
scales
do.
out.
Yeah, interesting.
Well, I mean, they're the experts. I'm the nuffy. Oh, I thought that was a dog yelping for a
jeez.
second. His text to squeaking.
Ferg was back. Hey?
Poor Ferg.
This is a tough one to rate on
He
a
had
lot
it
of
coming.
a lot of ways. It's a really good blurb without being on the can, which is
He's
disappointing.
a good boy.
Have you
Yeah.
sipped it yet?
No.
Cool, can I have yours?
I've been trying to find out
No,
because
I
we've
know, but
definitely had Peacherine. Fucking.
Peacherine.
Was it in Cloudy with a Chance of Juice from Shout?
That wouldn't surprise me.
Was it in
but-
Future's double dry hopped daily juice or double dry hopped all juice?
Not too sure. I honestly don't remember, dude. But dude. But that's a really good beer. And is it 7.4?
Yeah, so
It does not taste like 7.4.
Yeah.
7.4,
No, it's not, yeah.
2.6 standard drinks.
Yep. It's quite light, and I imagine Peacherine, we probably read it out, does have some peach notes, which I despise, but I really like this.
Oh, I don't know why you do. I love.
I do. So I grew up, and we had a peach tree. So you can guess
I
that
reckon-
everything was peaches.
So now I feel like that I've heard that story, so it's making
been
me
on the
feel like
podcast.
we've had Peacherine before.
Maybe, but no, I think just stone fruit in general. But I'm not too sure. We might have to look into it and spend the rest of the afternoon looking into it. But
But it is
but
a
this is
shame-
good.
It is a shame we can't visit their brewery now. I really think about it because we've had a range of styles here, but they do a lot of different stuff, which I will get a bit more info up on that sooner. Finish us off. However, I don't know if I was making my point about how much I like this because I've given it a 5.
yeah, wow,
As a
there you
beer.
go.
This is fantastic.
Yeah, well, this is. So I have to say,
It's smooth. Like there is
Mecca.
no. Yeah. It's like no burn, no
It's so balanced.
There's
with
no
everything they said within it.
outside flavors where it's like, oh, it's a bit bitter, it's a bit this, it's a bit that. It's just like, no, this is yum.
I don't mean to be rude. I really like this as well, but by this point, I'm really getting into what it actually tastes like because I think I'm still recovering from the last one.
Okay.
I'm actually getting the full flavor profile now, and yeah, it's fantastic. So yeah, I rate this pretty highly as well. That's awesome.
So Australia was not wrong.
No. Oh, so right. My theory on the Untapped thing. So you talk to brewers and that sort of stuff, and they hate Untapped because it's, you know, it might be a really good sour, but it's not good versus an IPA or whatever. So maybe in that regard, the system doesn't work. But it works at the other end of the scale. So if something's a 4 or above on Untapped, whatever it is, it doesn't matter if it's a milkshake or a beer, like it's good. It's going to be good from all those ratings. So in that regard, it does work. So you know if it's got a really high rating with, say, at least 200 people rating it, it's going to be good no matter what it is, whether it's a sour or a porter or a bloody whatever. Yeah.
But like, I don't know, isn't every rating system flawed?
Well, yeah. It is because it's
And
There's
like,
always variables. you
objective,
can't-
subjective, bloody I
yeah,
never
it's
get that right.
Subjective.
Yeah.
Subjective is like opinion based. Objective is like numbers,
can't
like
com- yeah,
fact.
yeah.
Like
Well, subjective
had-
then. Absolutely.
a liter of beer, and it's like, well, there's the 1 liter cup. And
Yeah.
it's not in it.
Yeah. But yeah, from what I've found, like Lights and Music, right? So that was one of the highest rated IPAs or whatever it was. Delicious.
Elite.
Be Kind Rewind. Delicious. Social Experiment. Delicious. So like the higher end works, but I do disagree with some of the lower end.
But with Untapped in their beers, just get a bit of an idea about what they sort of do. Again, no core range.
Bonza. Another Bonza
Wow,
flying
that's
over.
a loud plane.
Yeah, it is.
Bonza
They're-
planes are big.
Their highest rated beer on Untapped is their Triple Mott, which is their Triple New England Hazy. 113 ratings with 113 ratings, 4.53 average.
Yeah, that's crazy. Good on them.
Also in the top 5, a Paperbark Wild Ale, 6.8%, 4.48, only 24 ratings for that one, but
There wouldn't have been, I can't imagine that would have been a widely released one if it was a wild one, maybe.
nah. So the next one, though, you guys may have even heard of or seen advertised at some point, because I certainly had, the Goldilocks Zone, which is also a Triple New England Hazy, 218 ratings, 4.46.
Is that a bracket one?
Yeah, this is all bracket beers.
I reckon that's the one I may have had.
Goldilocks Zone,
Oh, does it?
No, I've never
does
seen
it-
that.
9.5%.
Can I see the can art?
Yes.
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 Yes, you may.
I'll allow it.
Yes. What a lovely party. Shame I wasn't invited. No, I've heard of it, but that wasn't it. I had another one from Bracket recently as well.
Well, didn't you say you had numbers or just those numbers? You
Oh,
don't
I'm
have,
just going
like,
to
what
the
we've
because
had?
I'm like as I mentioned before,
Fuck's
all the
sake,
beers have around about that 200 to 300, well between 150 and 300 rate reviews, right? But at the top end here, so I know that Test Print, which is an Imperial double New England IPA, 281. 4.43 average. The Juggernaut, 10.3% triple New England Hazy, 4.42. Another triple New England Hazy, Mad Caterpillar, 10.2%, 4.41. Like all these beers are like huge.
Yeah,
They're
bloody
all
oath.
big, like Neepers. Yeah, and it appears to be that is the style that gets all the big reviews from them. And I'm sure that Social Experiment, considering it was the best rated beer of 2023, those beers must have precluded. Is that the right word? That one?
Do you want to know stats for us? I'm not
Yeah.
going to read out can art and the BBBRS because they're obviously inhibited by a lack of, not a lack of can art, but just different can art and then lack of blurb. So
Oh, we should keep in mind they've got a recognisable style for what they've got.
Yeah,
They're just not like.
yeah, it's not like it's just not going to go up in a museum,
No, it doesn't like. Actually, it could. Although
art museum,
you-
art gallery.
you always say you judge it based on if you could put it up in your house. That looks like it would almost be wallpaper.
Yeah, no, it's pretty
Yeah, but is wallpaper in fashion? Like, I don't know many houses that have wallpaper in 2024.
Well,
Anyway, so the because I've just gotten because you didn't tell me what they were beforehand. So the third beer we
Apologies.
had was the Social Experiment.
Yep.
It is 9th
Oh, top 10.
on Untapped.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
The Maibock, which is long game,
Yep.
is 23rd.
That's huge for that style. For
Yeah.
us.
The Barefoot West Coast Pilsner is 115th.
Oh.
Jesus, that's a lot of beers.
Yeah, we've had
We
more than
are
115 beers.
alcoholics.
Also,
No,
I
we
just,
share them.
no one corrected me when I said I was talking about a West Coast IPA when it's in fact a West Coast Pilsner. But still, the fact remains that the West Coast Pilsners that I've had have been a bit more, dark in the mulch. But anyway, I love the other two. That Bock, I tell you what, it's hard with the rating system because I would have to say that the Bock was my favourite. But I
Was
think
that also almost surprise factor to an extent?
Oh yeah,
Or-
100%. Yeah, absolutely. That's the best Bock I've ever had. Ha ha ha. Aye.
I haven't given out a 5 for a while, so. Yeah, but anyway, you can grab these beers. I actually purchased these off Oak Barrel, which is a great website.
Yeah, cool.
In Sydney?
Yeah, $10 shipping. Also, I should point out, Bracket, $5 shipping, flat rate East Coast.
That's awesome.
So please support the guys.
Can you buy singles?
Great question.
Let me find out.
What
Find
did
out,
you
bloke.
buy singles or did you buy all four?
I
packs?
bought these from Oak
Barrel.
Barrel,
I
which
see,
yeah, of course.
Yeah,
But
sure,
Oak Barrel
yeah.
as well. Obviously, we do beers in threes, but a lot of the time you will buy a 4-pack of craft beers. Once you buy 4 singles, you actually get a bit of a discount.
Yeah, that's
on
a go.
Oak
That's
Barrel.
good.
So yeah, seek those guys out also. Got a cool range. Other stuff to this
No
beer also.
singles by the looks on Bracket. But there is April release, you can get a mixed 8. So there are four beers for the month.
Yeah, cool.
So you can get
Sold
two of
out
each.
already.
Sold out. Well,
What was in it?
there was the Cognitive Dissonance Hazy IPA, 7.5%. Version 22 Hazy Pale, 4.8%. Doodlin Double Dry Hopped IPA, 6.5%. And Full Send Triple IPA, 10%.
I'll tell you
and
what.
it was $111, which that seems like value.
It does seem
With
like
$5
value.
shipping, yeah.
Divided by 8. So $13.87 per beer, roughly. And one of them, well, two of them are 10%.
And a 440.
Can I just make
Yeah.
a remark or a hot take?
I'll allow it.
So father-son duo, and they make beers that they want to drink. If you get them in that, we're looking at those beers there and the ones we've had today. I think that's as advertised, that's a 5. I really believe that because sometimes from other breweries, a lot of breweries, you'll get one, we got awesome releases this week. It's, and you're like, oh, that's a filler episode.
Yeah.
4% backyard. No,
You know-
I should say backyard because Bridge Road do that. That's fine.
No.
But yeah, here's a draft beer to have in your backyard.
Yeah,
No,
I
no,
guess
or like
limiteds
a-
need to be big dogs
Yeah, or
or experimental.
one that like a 5% double dry hopped hazy pale. It's like, no, that's not. You're not. You don't want to drink that this week. You want a big bopper. But
But
I
there's
really
probably
like.
context to that as well.
said I
Like
want a
if
big
it's a
bock-up, but
if it's a brewery that. I guess I'm just thinking, like I said, I buy Mountain Culture each week. Like, I was pleasantly surprised, even though it was, I think, a Vienna lager. And it's like, but it's like, they don't do that. So
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
it's the
Yeah,
like,
that's true.
Yeah.
differ as
novelty.
well. Like,
That's
it's like,
true.
that style's probably a bit like, come on.
And-
but
and-
also for their, like,
And specifically, what I'm saying is with the limiteds. So
Yeah.
core range, of course you get to have those because
Because they don't do a core range.
because they don't do a core range, but still, some breweries do limiteds where it's like, oh, come on, I've been waiting all week and you give me this.
yeah.
But you may as well send me a bloody bottle of Mountain Dew.
bottle of water.
And it doesn't mean the beer is bad. It just means that it wasn't the exciting sort of thing that I was
Yeah,
after.
but I'm
Yeah.
just saying, that I really like that. It does sound like they do make beers that they want to drink. So
That
good on
Full
them.
Send tipper is also a collab with One Drop.
Yeah,
Oh.
but I reckon the name is a collab with the Sun. just call it Full Sand. What's that mean?
Oh, it's got the artwork of old. Have you seen the viral
The sun,
video?
right.
Are you
Nah.
kidding? I'm still going to send
Yeah,
it.
that's actually the picture on the camera.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
that
cool.
would have gotten a big score from
Yeah, that's awesome. I would have had someone need to explain it to me because I'm the
We'll have
other
to
end
show
of
you
the
the
scale.
viral
Like, what does
video.
that mean?
So please look up Bracket, support the guys. They don't know they did want to relocate obviously that was a bit tough
Yep.
because a big operation with all the tanks and everything to find an appropriate space.
Well,
Albury's not a bad town.
yeah,
Yeah,
and listen, we could raise the roof on the not so good shed. You're welcome here anytime because you create great beer. So
I don't own the property.
oh, it's okay. Don't have to know.
Anyway, cool. Yeah. Anyway, thanks Bracket. Thanks Mike and Mark.
Yep. Good job, boys. Send it.